Heart. All right. Let's see. I think we're live. We're live all
Hello,
over the
good morning.
place. Good morning, Mehuman. How are you this morning?
I'm really well. It's one of those beautiful, beautiful fall summer days
Talk to me
in
about it.
Maine. It's been a gorgeous week for all
Yes.
the foliage and all the fall and the smells. I just love this time of year. Love it, love
Oh
it,
my
love it.
gosh, me too. Me too. This
Except for taking my garden out. I'm dreading it.
yeah, taking your garden out because everything's dying back and it's starting
Yeah.
to get straggly and you know it's going to frost soon. It's the
Yeah.
sweetest time of year. I have to say I was in the Evergreen Cemetery last night just poking around on my bicycle like I do, and I just had to stop. I was stopped in my tracks by the beauty of the trees against the blue sky, which
Yeah.
sugar maples against that blue sky of October is a tremendous sight in orange and yellow and red. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got married in that little chapel there.
Oh, you got married there? I keep
That
forgetting.
little
I
chapel.
keep telling you before you got married there. Welcome to Postcards, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're so happy that you're here, and we have a song to sing, and it inspired by Rory Kelly's incredible mastery of looping pedals.
The
And
Lupa.
making
Rory
things
the
happen.
Lupa Van West.
Rory the Lupa Van Kelly.
Van Kelly. Oh, Van Kelly, that's right.
Rory the Lupa Van Kelly.
Lori the Looper. We always have to put like their mafia name. Lori the Lupa Van Kelly. That's it. We'll add the mafia name to the van. That's hilarious.
So we're going to start in the key of A. So I'm just making sure I've got the key of A here. Ready? It's on the looper. Here we go. When you're down and you're blue and you don't know what to do, just write a postcard. When you're feeling fine and there's something on your mind, just write a postcard. Don't you know Grandma loves this show? She listens every time. You don't need a reason. You don't need a rhyme to write a postcard to P.O. Box 1252. Just write a postcard. 04098. Just write a postcard to Westbrook, Maine. 'Cause Grandma loves this show. Oh my gosh, I did it. I did it. That was awesome.
That was cool.
I know. Well, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better at playing solos and fills on the guitar, and the best teacher that I have is a looping pedal, and so I'm working on that in the postcard song.
There you go. And it's so funny because we both just get shouts out to Rory Kelly, who is just wonderful. She has Monday Night Muses on her wonderful show, Monday Night Muses.
And good morning, David.
And I've had a looper in the box for about 4 years. It's been in the box. One of the many things I have in boxes. Yeah, I get these pedals, and I'm like, someday I'll have time to learn how to do this thing.
Yeah.
So I have a pedal list of things to spend some time with this winter. It's happening.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good winter activity. Woodshedding. Woodshedding. Popular activity.
Pedal shedding. Stuff to do.
So, as the winter goes on, the load of wood in the woodshed gets lower, and there's more space for you to get in there and with your fingerless gloves and make it happen.
Can you imagine trying to do that in Maine? Actually going out to the woodshed, you'd just be like, "Oh my," that's maybe they can do that down in Tennessee, but you can't do that stuff in Maine. You got to have it's freezing here. But right now it's gorgeous.
Yeah, this is true. It's spectacular. And we've had this little reprieve in the weather with the cold in the evenings has been really starting to set in. And then usually about this time in October, we get this little reprieve from the cold nights just for a moment. And that's when you got to sneak out your door when the sun's getting ready to set and go soak it up. Like last night seriously, it's like being in some sort of Hallmark movie around here right now. It's so beautiful. Right?
Okay, so you're speaking my language. I am like a home channel kind of girl. You always know what's going to happen. They never like each other. They always get together. No problems. I love it.
God. Oh my God. All right. We should have a little home oh my God.
And they're always like getting married at Christmas
The
time.
green
So
room's doing
weird.
the smoking and I'm doing the coughing this morning, apparently. Excuse me. We do have somebody sorry to interrupt with all the coughing, but we do have somebody very, very magical and wonderful in the green room right now. And that is Tommy Womack coming to us live from Nashville. And we're going to bring him in a second. But we want to give you the intel. If you're just joining us the first time, this show is called Postcards. And Mehuman and I interview amazing people from around the place who are musicians and artists who are involved in the music industry. We've had PR people on here. We have amazing people coming up, which we'll get to later in the show. But today we have the very, very wonderful and amazing Tommy Womack with us. And if the green room chat before the show is any indication, you're in for a treat. So do not touch that dial. Do not touch that dial. If you'd like to write to us, you may do so. P.O. Box 1252, Westbrook, Maine, 04098. We're right quick. We're doing a second verse contest that we're going to talk more about again on Monday. The postmark for that is Halloween. Okay. Postmark Halloween. We're going to get more into that next week, but we're going to give you some ideas about how to approach that. If you're not sure how to do it, put it on a postcard, send it to us. P.O. Box 1252, Westbrook, Maine, 04098. You will be instantly a superstar in our world. And if I may say, if you're a superstar in our world, we have a pretty good time with you. Am I right?
We do. And, you're probably a superstar in your own world too. So that's
true. Well, so anyway, so let's say, what do you say, Mehuman? I think it's time.
I think it's time for Mr. Tommy Womack to join us.
Yeah, Tommy, if you're ready, we're going to bring you in right now. Good morning, Tommy Womack.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Oh, pretty good. It's a beautiful day in Nashville. Getting a little bit of color in the leaves. I'm sure it's not like it is in Maine yet. We don't really get chilly until like the end of October down here.
Yeah, but you do get chilly in the evenings.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, it's been down in the 50s or 60s at night, but it's been in the 80s most days. We're having a cold snap come up supposedly this weekend. The high is going to be 67. I think that's Saturday. Oh. And so, we're Southern. We don't have much of an immunity to cold down here. Yeah. We're not used to it.
That would be our t-shirt and short weather right there. Maybe swimming. I still swim in the water when it's 52 degrees.
Oh,
well, Tommy, you got some songs lined up. You got an album coming out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I Thought I Was Fine. New album coming out, and this is so exciting. And you mentioned that you already have got a review. The reviews are starting to appear, and but we're just super excited for your new record. And maybe we could start out with a song. Are you into it?
Sure. This is the first track on the new record. Don't know where I'm going. I know where I've been. I got a season ticket to the Palace of Sin. Running a marathon when I can hardly stand. You pay it forward as best you can. Unbelievers in the belly of the whale. Computers have made us all so lonesome and pale. I'm into my bookie for 17 grand. You pay it forward as best you can. Parked at the bar with a blue-eyed lout. being experts on things we know nothing about. Come to the party with my friend Dan. You pay it forward as best you can. City waking up in a blanket of fog. Man on the exit ramp with a backpack and a dog. All of us are under heavenly command. You pay it forward as best you can. I could be replaced in a New York minute. Don't worry for my body, I'm not in it. Just remember, I'm your biggest fan. Pay it forward as best you can. Pay it forward as best you can. Pay it forward as best you can. Throw a Hail Mary right into the stands. Pay it forward as best you can.
Tommy Womack here on Postcards.
Man.
Dynamite, man. Dynamite. We're super excited about this new record. So, Mehuman, you had a question.
I would love to show, that was Tommy Womack's Pay It For. And it's from the new record. I thought it was fine. I want to just, before we get too deep in this, I want to make sure we show people where we can find your info about the record. It's dropping tomorrow. And also how you can support Tommy Womack. I thought it was fine. You just go to Indiegogo.com, projects Tommy Womack. I thought it was fine. Put those hyphens in there and you can support, back and follow. This is an awesome record. Much love. Cult Nashville songwriter Tommy Womack releases the first new album, studio album, in 5 years. So you heard it here first on Postcards.
Yeah. So Tommy, I'm curious about your influences. I know that is like a gigantic question because you have you have a long and interesting and varied musical history. But I wonder if you could speak to that a little bit before I make assumptions.
I can tell by your chord changes you got a little church in you.
Oh, my dad's a preacher. Was a preacher. You know, he's dead now, but he was a preacher when he was alive. And yeah, there's a lot of church in me. You know, I'm still constantly afraid I'm going to hell. You know, that sort of thing doesn't leave you. You can grow up to be semi-agnostic or rather left-wing Christian, but it's still there. It's still in my heart. And you know, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Let's
Me
just
neither.
away.
I'm a PK too.
Are you now?
Yeah, I'm a double PK, but I'm hopeful. I'm pretty sure, despite my nonsense, I believe that, you know, my faith will, despite my nonsense, I believe, like, you know, God knows, you know, that I'm full of nonsense. So I'm doing my best down here. I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up at the gates and say, St. Peter, you made me like this. It's I didn't have a choice.
Exactly. We're not surprises, right? We're no surprise. We're not surprises with God. You know, it's like he knows the punchline, okay?
I'm coming to church where you're going to church. This is the kind of church
Yeah.
I need. This is exactly, yeah. So church is in there, you know. And now, what about other writers, forms of, you know, different styles of music? Like, tell us a little bit about your musical DNA.
Well, I get compared to John Prine and Bob Dylan a bunch, and so you know, there is something there to it. John Prine's family is from the county next to mine in Kentucky. They're from Muhlenberg County. I'm from Hopkins County, which is right next door to it. And so there's Prine, there's Dylan, but more so than them, I'd put Ray Davies in there, Randy Newman, Joe Strummer. Those are the big ones. There's other smaller ones. I mean, Lennon, McCartney to a degree, but I can't sing as well as them. I can't sing as well as a lot of those people. But that's where it comes from. You can even throw some AC/DC in there. Really?
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking so. Interesting. Yeah. I grew up on AC/DC also.
That was the first cassette I ever bought.
Are you Back in Black? Seriously?
Back in Black. Snowblind. Yeah. I'm lost without you. Tell me age now.
I got one bragging right, you know. I never got to see Led Zeppelin or Leonard Skinner or anybody like that, but I did see AC/DC December 12th, 1977, with God. Bon Scott still alive singing lead. I did get to see that.
Whoa. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, they were great. Yeah. They opened for Kiss. I was there to see Kiss.
Holy smokes. Yes, I hear you calling, but I can't come back. Right now, me and the boys are playing. That was rock and roll.
Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. Think I hear the calling. Oh, Beth, what can I do?
Boom, boom. That was awesome, right? I remember crying like, that's such a gorgeous song. Rock and roll, can't beat it.
Oh my God.
Rock and roll crushes. I tell you, rock and roll. New game, new postcards, rock and roll crushes.
Oh, rock and roll crushes. All right, people, let's get to it in the comments. Rock and roll crushes. Are we going to be totally honest here?
Jane Weedland.
Jane Weedland.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's.
Oh, the Go-Go's. Oh, yes. Yes, there you go. I'm suddenly caught up short, Mehuman. I'm not sure if
you didn't have any rock and roll crushes.
Yeah, no, I had a crush on Sean Cassidy. He wasn't a rock and roller.
Oh, Sean,
he was
I guess so. You know,
I couldn't help
Leif Garrett, Sean Cassidy,
Leif Garrett, yeah,
the
hair thing that was
the Bee Gees. The cute Andy was Andy
Gibb.
The cute.
You have a crush on Andy Gibb?
Yeah. All those, all
I
the
did
beats.
too.
Yes, I did too.
You did.
right.
You did too. Tommy.
It's just this. Sorry, if Andy Gibbs listening, it's just more like going back into my own self. It's not about him.
Oh, he's
It's
not.
more about my own. Anyway, if you're just joining us, this is Postcards. We are here with the very wonderful Tommy Womack coming to us live from Nashville. And I think it might be time for another song. What do you think?
Sure. I'll do the second song off of the new one.
All right.
I don't need this for it. This is a song I wrote the morning after a great gig. When I woke up and opened up my email and found out it wasn't as great a gig as I thought it was. It's the title track of the record. It's called I Thought I Was Fine. I thought I was fine. I didn't know. The choices were mine. I could have said no. And now I'm out driving with no peace of mind. Thought I knew better. I thought I was fine. I changed all my strings. They were all clear and bright. Stars were out shining. It was a beautiful night. I thought I could see. Didn't know I was blind. Some folks applauded. They thought I was fine. Fish gotta fly. Birds gotta swim. The Lord had to die. I'll never be him. My mama loves me. I got some good friends. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. I've known destruction, women and wine. Last night was different. I thought I was fine. My grandfather died in the house that he built. He never knew pleasure, never knew guilt. He never touched liquor, never touched wine. Some folks applauded. He thought he was fine. Fish gotta fly. Birds gotta swim. The Lord had to die. I'll never be him. You could tie one on, get a nice buzz. Tomorrow will dawn. It always does. I'll carry this fear in the front of my mind. It'll happen again. When I thought I was fine. When I thought I was fine. When I thought I was fine. I thought I was fine.
Oh, yeah. Tommy Womack here on Postcards. I thought I was fine. New album dropping tomorrow. And Tommy, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I know Mehuman's probably got a couple in the hopper because she's always got the good ones, good questions lined up. This album is going to be released on digital platforms, or where are you bringing this one out this time?
It's going to be. I actually have a record deal this time. School Kids Records.
Oh,
And,
cool! I'm sorry I missed that. Right on, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's going to be available on all digital platforms. tomorrow, and it will be in vinyl form in the new year. We don't have the vinyl yet, and then of course CDs. Here it is. This is the record. It
Oh my
exists.
gosh. It exists. It's
There's
so
the
exciting.
middle of it right there. That's Jonathan Bright, me, and Lisa Oliver Gray, and we're the only three people on the record. I
Oh,
played all the guitar and bass. Jonathan played all the drums and a few ancillary instruments, and Lisa sang. And that's it. I didn't have any of my session player friends in this time. And I love them to death, and I've used them on my other records, but I didn't want it to sound very good. I wanted it to sound like me. I wanted it to have more in common with the first Clash record than the best of Merle Haggard or anything like that. So CDs, digital platform tomorrow, vinyl in the new year, and there's also a record coming out that's going to be. It's only available on the Indiegogo campaign right now, which is a 42 track double CD anthology of everything I've ever done called 30 Years Shot to Hell. And that's coming out with it. If you just Google Indiegogo Tommy Womack and it'll take you right there and show you how to get some of this stuff.
all right. We'll pull that up for you when you're playing your next song. Mehuman, I know you got a million questions in the hopper. What you got there?
Yeah, I'm more like some questions and some comments. One, bro, don't dish your voice. I love the authenticity. Some of your writing, the singing, the playing. To me, as a songwriter, this is the kind of stuff that just captivates me. When everything's all stripped down and the songs are just honest and the artist is honest. So I love the authenticity of this record, and I'd love to maybe chat with you because of your bio, which is the opening of it is just hilarious and so like it's my favorite bio I've read in a long time. Where you're just being you. You're just like, you know what? You like me, you don't like me, whatever. I hate dobros. I'm like, I'm ready I'm ready to be me. Is that what was my question is, has that that one of the silver linings of COVID, or were you on this journey already because of some of the things you've already experienced in life that have just been challenging and transformative? Like why show the man behind the screen, the Wizard of Oz? Why pull back the curtain now? And how has that been for you to like just be you and show you, no bells, no whistles, just you?
It's not really hard. I've been accused of having no filter, that I don't censor myself as I'm talking, and I'm a pretty confessional in my songwriting, and I like Americana. I respect the genre, and I was I'm still that. There's no other real category to put me in. I'm not what kids today consider rock. I'm more like rock from 50 years ago than I am My Morning Jacket or something like that. And what am I trying to say here? I haven't had enough coffee. What was the question?
Well, you're talking about authenticity, about just like no filter, just when you're writing and you're performing.
Oh yeah, I remember now. I had an epiphany.
Good word.
Last year at a certain point where I realized when I get in the shower and turn my jam box on, I put on the Stones or Zeppelin or the Clash or something like that. I don't put on Steve Earle or Lucinda Williams, and I love them. They're great. I respect them tremendously as artists. I respect Jason Isbell, but just I don't. I got a little tired of it. I wanted to go back and rock and have some fun instead of shooting for some Americana brass ring that I'm never going to get. I'm never going to get any brass ring. I'm 58 years old. It's over. I might as well just do what I want to do. And next time I might put out a record entirely of me taking two dead ducks and slapping them together over and over again for 40 minutes. That might be what I do next. Who cares?
Okay.
Who really cares, you know?
Some people like dead ducks.
The ducks would care. Well, they'll be
Ducks
dead.
would care.
They'll be dead when it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dead Duck record. We're looking forward to it. Tommy Womack here on Postcards.
It could be Peking duck, and then I'll look forward to it.
Yeah. I could take two servings of Peking duck in aluminum trays and just go bang, 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 bang.
We'll eat good anyways. We'll eat good. It might sound like hell, but we'll eat good.
You know, the thing of it is, though, Tommy, we all know that could be the thing that puts you into the musical canon for the rest of eternity. You know, it's that move that'll get studied at the ethnomusicology department at Wesleyan University, which is where I went to school. You know, like this could be a future for you. Just saying.
It could even be better. This just occurred to me. I can call it Howl Fowl and recite Allen Ginsberg's Howl while banging the ducks together.
But make sure you have like a little Tibetan carpet and incense burning while you're doing it, and an accordion.
Yeah.
Well, duh. Of course.
I'll do the finger snapping like this, like yeah, you know, and like co-signing with the finger snapping. I'll even wear a groovy beret too. I have a beret somewhere.
This is coming together.
We're already planning your next record. This is like how we do with food in my family. See, what we do with food is like while we're eating the meal, we actually talk about the next meal. That happens every single time we sit down to eat. We talk about the next meal. Right now, yeah. Seriously, you should come over sometime. It's quite entertaining.
Next meal. You don't just enjoy the meal in the moment. What about the meal in the moment?
It's part of enjoying the meal in the moment.
I see.
It's cultural. It's cultural.
Like secondsies. You're thinking about secondsies and thirdsies. Okay.
So you've got this album dropping tomorrow. I thought it was fine, and now we're talking about the Howl Fowl record that's going to be coming up, you know, sometime in the future. In all seriousness, though, I think the thing that you just brought up about giving up, you know, like just letting go of trying to get somewhere and coming back to what is it that I feel like creating right now? What do I want to do? What do I want to express? And I think it takes a lot of nerve to do that when you've been living in the worlds maybe that I imagine that you've been living in. Did it take courage to just sort of say, you know what, I've got this record contract. I'm just going to tell them this is how I'm doing this and, you know, make it so. Or was it just like that everybody said, yes, let's do this?
It didn't take much courage. What takes courage for me is walking around during the daytime. When I'm on stage, I don't. I'm much more courageous on stage. I probably shouldn't be. I should stick to the rule book, and I'd be maybe a bigger noise than I am now. But no, it didn't take a lot of courage. I just said, like I said earlier, I'm 58. It don't matter, you know. I'm going to do what I want, you know, because no matter what happens, I'm a pimple on Bob Dylan's butt. It don't matter. So it didn't really take a lot of courage, just some maybe self-awareness. It took that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Maybe I just want to say one other thing pursuant to that, which is, you know, and maybe it's because y'all have both been living and working in Nashville for a very long time, but I get a little bit of Rodney Crowell vibes. I hope you don't mind from listening to you. And because he's one of my personal songwriting and performing heroes. And one of the things I love about his songwriting is as he has aged, he has said some similar things, you know, and one of my favorite lines from one of Rodney Crowell's songs is, I got caught up making a name for myself. You know how that goes. It was a real cautionary bit of lyric. And I hear some of that coming out from you of just, you know, when we get caught up making a name for ourselves, sometimes we lose track of who we are, how we're interacting with people. Not that that's not a good pursuit, because that's part of making a living at this, but I really appreciate what you're talking about. Hope that made sense.
Yeah, trying hard to make a name for myself is the story of my freaking life. I mean, that's been what it's been since I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and it's become at this point. I used to think that I'd get famous and people would have my posters on their walls and people would be applauding me at gigs, and that would be my self-esteem. That would solve everything so far as not liking myself or whatever. If I only got famous, I would have self-esteem. And that I know now, and have known for decades, that that's not true. But at this point, it's like Ahab and the whale. It don't matter catching the whale, really. It's just, that's all I know. It's all I know how to do is shoot for the brass ring playing music. It's all I know. I can't do anything else. I'm not going to go to Nashville Tech and get an associate's degree in something else so I can get a job. I'm not going to go back to being an office assistant. I'll kill myself before that happens. I have dishwashing experience and car washing experience, but I don't really want to investigate that again. This is it. Play my guitar, write my little books, and hope maybe that, when I'm dead and gone, somebody will discover me and it'll be like Van Gogh or something, this revival of interest in me after I'm a corpse. Is this too morbid?
No, actually, Van Gogh's I love that you brought it, because in the moment, people always like artists like Van Gogh and Gauguin and many others. People are like, in the moment they were making their work, ignored largely or thought to be quite mad, and now years later, hundreds of years later, they're the latest thing when they it happens all the time. But similarly, I believe everyone has their personal Iliad. We're all trying. It's human nature or a human drive to like want to be known. But, at a certain point, I think now more younger people it's the authenticity is the new black. And I feel like as an older person, I'm catching up to this generation that says, be yourself, because there was so much, me coming up in music was so much like, do this, be thinner, be taller, be lighter, be straighter hair, or different this or that, and what about the song? You know what I mean? What about just singing the stupid song that is on my mind at the moment? So I love that a lot of people, we're just taking back our permission to just be ourselves, which is, I don't know if that's I don't know how it impacts the music industry or not, but it makes the music better to me. We'll see what the music industry does with it, but I think the songs are better now, are getting better again. So,
yeah.
There's so many great songwriters out there, and it's harder to get people's attention en masse now as it was at one time. There's, the digital revolution has given every singer-songwriter in the world a platform if they want it. You can get yourself a Facebook and Instagram and a website and a Twitter, and you're on the way. So, and everybody's on the way at the same time. So the amount of audience you're going to get, well, of course, it depends on whether you're good or not, but it also depends on whether you're enterprising. Who has a manager anymore? You got to do it all yourself, and you got to book your own gigs generally, not always, but it's the sort of thing that you have to deal with a lot of rejection. Booking yourself, which I'm terrible at, promoting myself, which I overdo it when I do it. It rips out your soul, because these are, if you're an artist, then all these things that have to be done in the back office, you got to do them too. And it's just terrible. It's the worst thing in the world. And artists are by nature insecure. you got if you're going to pick up a guitar and play and sing in front of people, you'd better have a skin 4 feet thick, because you're going to get bad reviews, you're going to get great reviews, but the one that'll always stick to you is the bad review. That's the one you'll think about over and over again. And if artists by nature being sensitive people, that is a very hard road to travel. And I've been traveling it 35 years. What you just have to put your head down and walk into the wind and be stubborn about it. And I tell people that if you can at all be happy doing something else with your life but music or performing, if you can honestly believe that you could be happy being a salesman or a lawyer or a doctor or an insurance agent or anything like that, go for it. If you can't be happy, if you're convinced you can't be happy doing anything other than writing songs and performing and writing prose and performing that, if you've got to have that to be happy, then welcome to the game. Come on in. But if you can be happy doing something else, by all means do something else, because 20% of being who I am is really fun. The other 80% sucks. The time that you're not on stage, pardon me, sucks. I know it's PG-11 here. But you do what you got to do. And your audience at gigs, they can get larger, but I'm used to them being pretty small, because I have probably 2,000 or 3,000 fans worldwide. There's about 150 hardcore fans in Nashville who never come out. They never come to the gigs.
Yeah.
And I have 3 or 4 Belarusian fans, probably about 100 hardcore fans in England entirely, France, Italy, a few dozen in each of those countries. You can't get them all together at one time and have a show for 500 people. That just doesn't happen. I probably have as much of a career as I deserve. Talent, what is talent? Who gives a damn? Talent's 10% of the game.
Yeah.
If I'd have worked harder in my life, if I'd work harder now at it, if I hadn't had my face stuck down in a bottle, rolling joints and snorting coke for as many years as I did, maybe I'd be a bigger thing. If there's ever been anybody who's not been screwed over by the music industry, it's me. I've been afforded every chance to shine. I've been given the spotlight many times, and a lot of the times I killed it and went down great. A lot of the times I blew it, and I know it, and it's tough to live with, but that's what it's been, and I have to deal with the consequences of that. I just try not to screw up like that anymore.
Brother, that's a song, that honesty, because a lot of people, I love that you're because a lot of people, I can relate to that as well, a lot of that. But a lot of folks, like artists, who are in this change of like trying to get from the old way of doing things to this new space of doing things, I feel like sometimes they let the excuse of of change get in their way of just digging in and saying, okay, let me figure this out. Or, the music industry, or there's everybody. But from what you're saying, I feel like you're just owning it and saying, you know what? I love making music. It's hard to make music, but this is what I do. I love to make it. And so I'm going to do what I got to do. PSA for a public service announcement. If you want to make music, you better, you got to get up in the morning and do your job, because it's your job too, so.
If
My
you
producer
don't
said,
do it,
"Oh, sorry."
nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing that's great about it, probably the thing I get the most joy out of, aside from performing, is my friends in this town. Um, I know so many singer songwriters and rockers and people like that. And the thing about Nashville is it doesn't matter so much if you play great or sing great. Everybody does that. That's nothing special. What matters is how nice are you, because that's what's going to get you work. That's what's going to put you on a tour bus for 6 weeks in the Midwest with other people. You got to be nice. And so everybody is nice. Everybody cheers each other on. And if there was any more money involved, maybe people would crawl over each other to get to it. But there's not. I mean, you know, if you can make a living on par with a guy who owns a little grocery store, you've made it. You may not realize it yet, but if you're making that much money to put food on the table, then you're probably more famous than you realize.
That's right.
Here's one thing: when it came time to join the school orchestra or the band in 7th grade, I scored really well on the aptitude test, so well that the music director of the high school came to visit at my home. But we couldn't afford an instrument, so I didn't get to play in the band. But at football games, I would stand next to the band and look at them in their uniforms. And I didn't think of the marching band, as nerds. To me, they were cooler than the guys on the football field playing.
Yeah.
But I would stand next to the band and pretend I was one of them. And that was kind of miserable. I didn't have a good childhood or a good teenage years at all. And now I go out to a club and I know Amelia White, Paul Birch, Webb Wilder, all Jason and the Scorchers, Tim Carroll, Tim Easton, David Olney, rest in peace. So many others, Todd Snyder, Gary Talent, Springsteen's bass player, you know, people like that, Tom Peterson, a Cheap Trick, all these people, I know them and I see them at clubs and we hug each other. And now I feel like I'm part of the marching band. You know what I'm saying? I'm
That's
in the
right.
band now.
Oh my God.
That's
I love
rewarding.
it.
I love it too.
That's right. I don't mind being called a band nerd. I played the flugelbow and I own it.
I did not know that about you.
I own it. But you know, access to music, lessons, instruments, PSA for that, and the roll call you just named of the we call it the old guard. And brother, you just preached, by the way. I just want to let you know you just preached that. You know, if you get to be creative and think about creative things, and you're not trying to put food on your table or figure out how you're going to keep your babies warm, you're the 1%. You're a very blessed, fortunate person. That's how I look at it, because I've never been hungry a day in my life, and I get to choose to make music. But I work 3-day jobs too, so I can make music. And I just feel blessed to be able to do that, whatever it is. And we want to shout out to Magnolia Rhodes, who brought us Tommy today, who also brought us Amelia White and Tim Easton and all these lovely people that Tommy was just giving a shout out to the roll call, as we call it. So Magnolia Rhodes, Emily Hansen, thank you so much for bringing us Tommy. And I would love to hear another song, because this is captivating. We've got people, Lori Jones is watching, and she's just blown away and inspired by what we're talking about, and Diggy Cat and some other folks. So you got another song for us, Tommy?
Sure. And let me make sure I'm in tune here.
While Tommy's tuning, I just want to say, if you're just joining us, welcome to Postcards. We have a PO Box 1252, Westbrook, Maine 04098. Put a little something on a postcard and send it to us, and we'll read it on the air, put you on the wall of love, and you can be sharing the rectangle with amazing artists like Tommy Womack with your postcards. So let's get to it, folks. All right.
This one, I know we're a family-friendly show, so I'm going to edit this one on the fly. You want to talk about confessional authenticity? Well, here you go.
Good.
This is from the new record. It's called Job Hunting While Depressed.
Tommy Womack, Postcards.
Job hunting while depressed. You don't get any rest. You don't hope for the best. Job hunting while depressed. Networking while you're blue is a rotten thing to do. You get no interview. You got no revenue. Polishing my resume, polishing my knife, sniffling past the graveyard on the road to a better life. My suit's all clean and pressed. You got to be well dressed. He don't look too impressed. Job hunting while depressed. Hello, sir, how you do? Sure nice meeting you. What a lovely ocean view. Whoop-de-friggin' do. Polishing my resume, polish off this beer. Wondering why adulthood has to have so much to fear. I got nicotine and pills, a table full of bills, losing all my skills, eating General Mills. Polishing my resume, polishing mine. I ain't asking for the world here, I just need a doggone job. Job hunting while depressed. You don't get any rest. You don't hope for the best. You don't feel very blessed. Go on and beat your breast. Get off your chest. By all means, be my guest. Job hunting while depressed.
Oh yeah, Tommy Womack here on Postcards. The gospel truth. 3 chords in the truth. Actually, it's more like 5 chords in the truth, but thank you, Tommy. That's a good one. That's from your new record, correct?
That's
coming
from
out
the
tomorrow.
New one, yeah.
Coming out tomorrow on all digital platforms. I thought it was fine. Tommy Womack's new album. We're talking about it and talking to the man himself, straight from Nashville this morning. We're so glad you've been here with us this morning. We're getting close to our time. I will have to say that because there's rock and roll genes in the room, I just have to say that I made this for you, Mehuman, and this is Mehuman's dude right here. I just want to say he's on a stick now. He can pop in anytime. So, Tommy, we've covered a lot of ground with you this morning, and I feel like it's just the beginning of a long and beautiful friendship. I hope that you will consider yourself part of the Postcards family now and come back and join us another time, because we got a lot more questions for you.
I hope so. I like you two girls a lot. It's been a pleasure chatting with y'all. Anytime you want me back, just give me a jingle. I'd be happy.
We'd love to have you back. Absolutely.
I feel like give me a jingle. I feel like the gauntlet is thrown. It's like, write me a jingle. I'd be like, do we need to? That could be a great gauntlet to fall through.
I would love to get in on that racket. I don't know how. I don't have any connections in the advertising world, but I would love to get into jingles. That would be great fun.
I actually know someone I think has been involved with that. I'm when I'm talking to her, I'll hit her up about that. And if I get some intel, I will hit you back with that, because
intel, baby.
That's right.
I mean, somebody thought up liberty, 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 liberty.
Yeah. Which we all know now because we've all been stuck inside.
Probably made
exactly. Or we have the meat. Or we have the meat. You know.
I was just thinking about that jingle last night. I was like, somebody wrote that. Where are they? Before we go though, tell us about your latest book.
The latest book's called Dust Bunnies. It came out 2 or 3 years ago. And you think the songs are confessional, just check out Dust Bunnies. It's a memoir. It goes from high school up to the present day. It's all my memories of youthful alienation, problems with my parents, sex, drugs, rock and roll, Jesus. It's all in there. Oh, there's a copy of it there. And you can get it from Amazon. You can also get Cheese Chronicles. That's the story of my band. with my band Government Cheese that we started in 1985. And we just made our second reunion record a couple of weeks ago. We just recorded it. And then there's the Lavender Boys and Elsie, which is a Civil War comic novella that I just sort of wrote as an exercise. And the people who've gotten a hold of it seem to like it. So those are the 3 books right there.
On. Right on. And I'm looking forward to reading them because I really appreciate your total honesty today, and I think always. I think living like that is something that, in a lot of people's experience who sort of pass through some of the worlds that you inhabit, maybe authenticity doesn't feel like it's always there because people are trying to get places and so forth. And I just really appreciate everything you've brought to us this morning, Tommy. Thank you so much for taking the time. Do we have time for one more quick song, or what do you think?
Sure.
Is it time to hit the road? Okay, you got one more? And Mehuman, I know, but Mehuman sometimes has got a meeting right after the show, so I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge that. If you need to jet, Mehuman, I know you will.
Tommy, it's been a delight, and I just want to say, bro, just thank you so much for being here. And our paths will cross again, I'm sure, if not now, in the by and by. And just, I'm glad you keep making music. I'm glad you keep being you, because it blesses us. So,
well, the pleasure is mine, PK.
You know we're the worst, right? The PKs are the worst.
we either become preachers ourselves, or we go completely off the frickin' rails.
Yep. And sometimes rails the back,
If you're lucky, if you work at it.
If you work at it.
All right, you want another one?
Yeah, let's do one more, and then we'll take it out with the postcard song.
All right. This is a true story. It's called the Vicky Smith Blues. Vicky Smith lived up the street from me. Vicky Smith lived up the street from me. Vicky Smith was 10 years older than me. I was 6 years old and she was 16. I was 6 years old and she was 16. And Vicky Smith was first pair of hot pants I'd ever seen. Her little brother Lane Allen was somebody I played Hot Wheels with. Her little brother Lane Allen was somebody I played Hot Wheels with. There was hot pants and Hot Wheels up the street with Lane Allen and Vicky Smith. Vicky Smith smoked cigarettes and swore. Vicky Smith smoked cigarettes and swore. All her dates just honk the horn, never came to the door. Their daddy converted the garage into a den. Their daddy converted the garage into a den. In that den, I saw Secretariat win. Vicky Smith married young. Vicky Smith heard that horn honking, off she run. Got D-I-V-O-R-C, a J-O-B, and a baby son, praise God.
Tommy, that was awesome.
Tommy Womack on Postcards. You know what? We Mehuman's got a jet for 12 o'clock, and so we're gonna have to just say goodbye right here. And so if you have time, Tommy, I'm gonna go ahead and sing in the key of A, the Postcard song to go out. So thank you, Tommy Womack. Thank you again to Emily Hansen for bringing us together. Good luck with the new album. I hope it is what you need it to be. I hope it's exactly what you need it to be. And I can't wait to hear the whole thing. All right.
Well, while you sing, I'll dance my Abraham Lincoln finger.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Key of A. When you're down and you're blue and you don't know what to do, just write a postcard. It's kind of hard. When you're feeling fine and there's something on your mind, just write a postcard. Don't you know Grandma and Abe Lincoln love this show? They listen every time. You don't need a reason. You don't need a rhyme. Would it kill you to write a postcard? P.O. Box 1252. Just write a postcard. 04098. Just write a postcard. To Westbrook, Maine. 'Cause Grandma loves the show. Thank you again to Tommy Womack. Thanks everybody for listening in. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.